Hey, yo, brothers, I came across this video today on TikTok, and the topic of conversation today is this female is talking about living with a man, the struggles that she faces living with a man. Keep in mind, this man is paying the majority of the bills, if not all of the bills, and she is having a hard time being a helpmeet unto this man, a servant unto this man. And honestly, she has poor domestic skills when it comes to catering towards a man. I think I'm gonna add an extension to this video, maybe later on down the line. But if you read the comment section, all these women are telling this woman to leave this man and to prioritize her peace. Anyways, brothers, let's go ahead and tap into this.
I'm 22 years old and my boyfriend pays all of our bills and shit is still not sweet. I wish before I moved out I had somebody to tell me, like, honestly, I really truly believe that dating is for living separately and living together is for marriage. I mean, maybe right before y'all get engaged, if y'all kind of know that y'all want to marry each other before y'all officially get married, then graduate into moving in together. But basically that should
Brothers, when a woman talks about getting married, something we have to understand is she's talking about having a ceremony in which she's the centerpiece of everything. Basically, marriage is like prom. I ain't gonna say 2.0, it's 3.0. An expensive dress, taking pictures, getting her hair done, lashes done. Everything is about her. When a woman thinks about getting married, she's not really even thinking about the man. She's thinking about her. She's the director and the star of her own movie. It's basically a fairy tale for her. That's what it's all about. She wants the title of being able to say that she's somebody's wife, the validation of saying that she's someone's wife, and that gives her a feeling of worth or self-worth. I have a ring on my finger. Brothers, that's not what marriage is, my nigga. Like, marriage is when I go to work and I have a job, I pitch you as my emergency contact person. We have a joint account and we're putting money into that account and we're saving with one another. Once again, there's this conversation about 50-50. A relationship is not supposed to be 50-50. A relationship is supposed to be both of you all in. You make 1,000 a week, I make 1,000 a week. It's not, oh, I'm gonna put 500 in, you put 500 in. No, we both put our money into this account and we're going to divide and subtract and say, okay, this is what the expenses are this month. This is what the bills are this week. This is what we need to pay this week. And we're both pulling out of that collective pot, that collective pool of money. That's how much money we have. It's an annual income for the household. That's how marriage is really supposed to be operating. A relationship is really supposed to be operating. Another thing we have to understand is if you're in a relationship and you're married, that means your spouse, your significant other, you and your girl, whatever, y'all are both supposed to have life insurance policies, and y'all are both supposed to be the beneficiaries of those life insurance policies. That way, in the event of your departure from this earth or in the event of your demise, you or her are able to be compensated and y'all are both taken care of and the funeral expenses can be covered. A lot of people don't have life insurance policies, and that's why you see these GoFundMe pages. I lost my son. I lost my mother. I need help for the burial, because people don't have life insurance policies. If more black people had life insurance policies, black people wouldn't be in such a financial stranglehold as a race of people. That's something that has to be emphasized as a culture of people. We need to prioritize everyone having a life insurance policy. You can have something that you can pass down to your spouse or your children in the event of your demise. A lot of people are passing away and they're not leaving anything behind. The scriptures tell us that a good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children. What are we leaving behind, brothers? That's something that's going to be taken into the account on the day of judgment. What are we leaving behind? Let's tap back in.
come until way down the line. Even though I don't pay any bills, y'all, it is so hard. I'm in school.
Brothers, this woman just said she doesn't pay any bills. She doesn't pay any bills and she's still complaining. This is what the woman says she wants. She wants a man that can take care of all of the household responsibilities as far as finances goes. It's her job basically to do chores, essentially. Her job, her priority, her responsibility, her employment is cleaning up the house, washing clothes, folding clothes, doing dishes. The woman is not raised to have great domestic skills. Not all of them, but in general, the average woman in this society is, and especially in the so-called black community, is not raised with good domestic skills. And once again, when I talk about the average black woman, I'm talking about the black women that live in Chicago, St. Louis, Atlanta, Georgia, Cleveland, Ohio, Baltimore, Maryland, Detroit, Michigan, Flint, Michigan, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so on and so forth, Louisiana, Mississippi, the parts of Florida, the places where there's hood ghetto stuff going on, dysfunction. These areas, the so-called where there are a lot of violence, high crime rates, you have a lot of uncles, brothers, and cousins that are incarcerated. So it's normal for you to be around criminals. It's normal for you to have criminals in your family. It's normal for you to say free Pookie, free Ray Ray, because Pookie and Ray Ray is not only your baby daddy, but Pookie and Ray Ray is your daddy, your uncle, your cousin, and your brother. It's a lot of people in the black community that have multiple family members, male and female, that are incarcerated and that are a part of the penal system. So what does that mean? They have a lot of empathy and compassion for people that are criminals. They are cool with criminals. They are friends with criminals. Therefore they look at the police and they look at order, rules, judge, structure. They look at that as they have a problem with that because rules, order, and structure are incarcerating and captivating or capturing their loved ones. So this is what I'm talking about when I talk about the so-called black woman. And I'm talking about, when I talk about black people, I'm talking about that demographic of black people. I'm talking about niggas. I'm not talking about all black people, because there's plenty of black people that come from two-parent homes, that come from functional environments, that were not raised in destructive environments, and they were separated from that. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the hood people, the niggas for the most part. Anyways, a woman is coming from those environments. They have poor domestic skills. They're probably not being raised in a family structure that is teaching her wife skills. That doesn't mean that she can't work. That doesn't mean that she can't take care of herself. I would tell my daughters, look, you're strong by yourself, baby, but you're strong. You'll be even stronger with a man. Once again, brother, something we have to understand is one person. Yeah, Superman is strong, but he's stronger when he has the Justice League with him. Life is a team game, and that's something we need to understand and comprehend. Superman is strong, but he'll be even stronger with Wonder Woman, and especially if Wonder Woman knows her place. And when I say her place, meaning her role. We all have a role to play.
Even when I was just in school, like dishes never ending, laundry never ending, having to cook, making sure that
Brothers, when it comes to dishes and things of that nature, something my mother always taught me is that you clean up as you go. If you clean up as you go, when you're done cooking, when you're done preparing a meal, what's going to occur is you're not going to be overwhelmed with dishes and forks and utensils and spatulas in the sink. It's the reality of it. You know, you have to clean up as you go. You need to, she once again has not been taught, and I'm just speculating, just giving my 2 cents on it, just looking at the situation. She hasn't been taught properly how to come up with a routine. She hasn't developed a routine, because if you really develop a routine, cooking, cleaning, washing clothes, keeping the house clean, if you look at that as your job and you put 8 hours into that a day, you really can knock that out easy. That's easy work. That's easy work. Cooking and cleaning the house. You're not living in a mansion. More than likely, you're probably living in maybe an apartment. They're probably living in an apartment, or maybe a house that has 2 or 3 bedrooms in it. It's not much that goes into that. You can vacuum, you sweep, you mop, you clean up. I watched my grandmother do this every day. I watched my grandmother do this every day when I was a child. I'd go over to my grandmother's house. She would cook for my grandfather. Keep in mind, my grandmother was in her 70s doing this. Cook for my grandfather. I'd watch her cook, clean, mop, find time to watch her stories. She would do all this stuff. She had a routine. She had a system. You have to create a system in which you can operate. And that's not something that she has. She's too busy scrolling on her fucking phone. Excuse my language. She's too busy scrolling on her phone, too busy watching TV, too busy scrolling on Instagram and scrolling on TikTok. She's too busy making a TikTok video right now when she really needs to be catering attendance to the household. If you focus more on being a better wife and a better girl, your relationship would probably be better.
Somebody else is good. Like, you're responsible for another human being to a certain extent.
She's saying that as if the man is not responsible for her. That man is taking care of you. You're taking up space in his house. He's buying food. You're drinking the water. You're flushing the toilet. Your water's going down the drain. Electricity. You're taking up space. And not only to mention that, but your hormonal, unstable, constantly fluctuating energy is being projected all throughout the house. If you're in the home with a woman, you're going to be subjected and you're going to be imprisoned with and constantly have to deal with her fluctuations in mood and energy, especially dealing with the certain depending on the type of woman that you're dealing with. Some women are up and down all day. A good woman, she's going to be kind of even killed for the most part. She's going to be what the scriptures call, she's going to have a continent mind, meaning she's self-restrained and she has the ability to hold back. She knows how to dwell in silence. She knows how to shut her fucking mouth. Excuse my language again, but she knows how to shut her mouth. She doesn't have to run her mouth all day. She knows how to bite her tongue. She doesn't always have to say the first thing that comes to her mouth, because a lot of times a woman will say what she feels instead of processing it and analyzing it first. And it just comes out. A good woman has the ability to say, you know what, let me process this first. A lot of women don't know how to receive the instruction of a man. They don't know how to be talked to by a man. So when a man speaks to them, they're not accustomed to that aggressive tone or that just deep masculine voice. A lot of times you'll tell a woman, hey, babe, can you grab this? And she'll hear it a completely different way. All she hearing is, get the hell up, why you sitting on your ass? That's how she'll hear it. Her ears hear something that you didn't even say.
Like, it is a lot of pressure whenever his work days coming around. I'm like, oh my God, do we have stuff to eat? I'm making the groceries, like just having to cleaning up behind somebody else is mentally exhausting. And
A woman will do this for a child that don't do nothing for her, don't pay none of her bills, but has an issue with doing this for a man that takes care of her and pays all of her bills. It's amazing. Brother, something you have to understand is a woman only truly is going to love her child. Now, I'm not saying that a woman can't love her man and be madly in love with her man. It's possible, especially if you're her type. If you're her type and you're giving her good dick and you're satisfying her on an emotional level and a mental level, a spiritual level, and she's physically attracted to you and she sees that other women are in awe of you and mesmerized by you and just hypnotized by your energy and your essence, then there's a strong possibility that your woman is probably going to be, she'll probably have a different view. She'll view you on a high pedestal, especially when she's digmatized. But for the average man, brothers, you got to understand something. Your woman is probably with you because of the convenience factor. She's a certain age and you're not her best option or her only option, but you know what? He'll do. I need somebody to pay the bills. I need some help. He'll do. If a better option came along, for the most part, a lot of y'all wouldn't have y'all girl. And that's why you got to focus on self-improvement, especially before you have a child or you engage in a real relationship. It always has to be self-improvement. Even while you in a relationship, it has to be self-improvement and constantly getting better. She has to constantly see growth in you. You constantly have to be trying to grow and get better. Otherwise, your relationship in Babylon is probably going to fail, especially in your 20s. In your 30s, you're not going to be able to probably find a steady relationship, a steady, stable relationship with the woman until you're in your late 40s, probably early 50s. And that's not me saying that. That's older women that I've had conversations with. They don't really start to get to the point where they're at that sweet spot in their relationship where they're really settled down and settled into their relationship until they're in their late 40s, early 50s. That's when they start to settle into their relationship and start to understand what a relationship is really about. And they start being able to understand, okay, I don't have the same options I had. When the woman no longer has the same sexual market value that she had in her 20s and 30s and her early 40s, that's when she'll start to have a more realistic and rational approach to life. The woman does not have a realistic, rational approach to life in her 20s and her 30s, especially if she's an attractive woman and she got niggas approaching her all the time. Not real, she's not. She's always going to be having a wandering eye. Don't think that the woman doesn't have a wandering eye. The woman has a very wandering eye. She's always looking around. And every time she opens up her phone, there's niggas out here that got shirtless pictures and six packs on Instagram. Go under the comment sections and look at what the women's saying. There's plenty of women that are thirsty. Women are very sexual creatures. They're just more selectively sexual when it comes to their arousal. Men don't have the same sexual market value or same, allure. To the average man doesn't have the same allure that the average woman has. We want the we as men tend to look at women and we put them in a different category, a different box when it comes to beauty than they do for us. Most women don't find most men attractive. They pretty much find most men average looking or ugly. And that's why it seems like we are these sexual predators when in reality, they're just as sexual as us, but they're only sexual to a specific or certain section of men that are elites when it comes to physical attraction or status and wealth.
Always felt, even if he didn't rush me, I always felt like I had a deadline for something because I just feel the pressure of somebody else watching, if the laundry basket is full.
Yeah, brothers. What she's describing is her quote unquote the nigga she with. I'm not gonna call him her husband necessarily, even though I mean they basically might as well be husband and wife. But her dude, her boyfriend, whatever, is like a supervisor because he's taking care of you. It's crazy because on your at your job, you're being watched and monitored all day. You got cameras on you, you got eyes on you, you're constantly being evaluated and assessed all the time. Your work and your performance is constantly being assessed. But at home, you have a problem with it. It's in a domesticated setting, you have a problem with it. But at work, you don't have a problem with it because her job gives her a feeling of freedom and independence. The so-called black woman, especially the so-called black woman, is enamored and obsessed, devoted to her feeling and sense of independence. She needs it. She needs it. She needs to feel independent. She needs to feel that she can leave you at any moment. And I feel it. I feel it. That holds the man accountable. That does. Now he has to treat you a certain way because he knows that, there is a possibility or a threat of her leaving. But at the same time, the judicial system is not set up in a way, the culture is not set up in a way where the woman can have those types of options and it be in a functional society. We have to reevaluate the court laws. We have to reevaluate things. There should not be any child support. There should not be any spousal support. I'm all for a man taking care of his children. So don't get that twisted. But child support encourages and enables and incentivizes the woman to leave the man and still be able to collect compensation for leaving that man. There's two things you can do, baby. Either don't have a child with that man or stay with that man. Those are your options. But you're not going to be compensated for leaving your relationship and breaking up a home and creating a bastard child. Because that's what's going on. A lot of these men, they do leave their child or they are the problem in a situation, but a lot of times it's not the man. A lot of times it's the woman because there's plenty of men out here that provide, and men for the most part are simple creatures. Unless you are physically abusing her or financially making bad decisions or are engaging in infidelity, there's really no reason for you to be ever breaking up a happy home, a quote unquote relationship or marriage, or breaking up a home where there's a child involved. There's really no reason. You should be able to work that shit out. There's a child involved. Unless there's infidelity, physical abuse, or this man is financially inept and incompetent, there's no reason why.
even if he doesn't care, it's just I know that somebody else is almost keeping tabs on me. I don't even know how to explain it. Um, it just felt like,
Brother, she's saying a lot. I'm keep pausing this video and responding because she's saying a lot. Keeping tabs. You're keeping just brother, it's something you understand. The woman is constantly keeping tabs on you. She's keeping tabs on you. Keep that in mind. She's keeping tabs on you too. Everything she's constantly trying to reassess and ask herself, are you that nigga? Are you the nigga that she should be with? Is you the dude that she should love with and be with for the rest of her life? Is there a better option out there for me? She is a creature that's constantly worrying about her next option. Now, I'm not talking about all women. Not all women, but there is a large percentage of women because the vast majority of women in America, Babylon, Western society have been with probably a dozen dudes at least. I'm not all of them. This is just me speaking my vain perspective and opinion. But a good percentage of these women have been with at least a dozen dudes. So their natural proclivity or natural instinct impelling, they're naturally driven to leave a situation, not make it work. When things don't go their way, their natural inclination is to bounce and get up out of there. And social media is reinforcing that programming. There are women out here that will stay with a man long term, and after that long term relationship is over, you got two types of women. Some just go back into the streets and they out here fucking and sucking on everything. And then you also have another type of woman that is going to work on herself and try to heal and start businesses and start going to the gym and start reading. There's different types of women. So you got to ask yourself you have to be able to discern what type of woman you're dealing with. That starts with judgment and that starts with wisdom. And a lot of that is going to be found for you in the scriptures.
coming home felt like coming I was still clocked into a job, like I was still at work. Because when I'm by myself, first of all, the mess is cut in half because it's only my dishes. I'm only cooking for me. I'm only doing my own laundry, like things of that nature. So,
Brothers, what you got to understand something, brothers. Even if you are paying all the bills, the woman still wants you to come home and help her with the laundry, help her with the dishes. You're taking care of her, and she still wants you to change diapers and change. This is what goes on. This is the culture in Babylon. The woman really wants her cake and eat it too. That's the problem. I mean, and keep in mind, brothers, washing clothes is not that damn hard. Folding clothes is not that hard. Washing clothes, you throw them in the washing machine, then you throw them in the dryer. It's not like you hand washing. Folding clothes, if you are organized and you have an actual system set up and you're not letting clothes pile up for weeks and weeks at a time, you can fold clothes in maybe 15, 20 minutes, if that. It doesn't take long to fold clothes. It doesn't take long to wash dishes. You soak the dishes, you soak the pots, you soak the pans, you can wash dishes in 35 to 45 minutes, if that. It doesn't take long. Have some music playing in the background. You can knock out the dishes. This is her job. Her job, she is taken care of. She don't have to worry about no bills. This is her job, to take care of bills. Clean the toilet out. It don't take that long to do these things. Clean the toilet out, clean the bathtub out, boom, and then you take a break. You don't have to work, baby. Stop sleeping in till 11, 12 o'clock. She probably sleeping in to 10, 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And then when she finally get up, he on his way home. She done ate and did a couple of scroll on her phone for an hour. And now he on his way home and ain't shit done. What you done did all day? That's the problem. That's the problem. You don't have a system. You lazy, and you have poor time management skills. Probably just her. And that's not all women, that's just her. That's what it sounds like to me.
and it's my stuff, so nobody pressuring me to do it. Nobody looking at, you didn't do this yet. I don't know, like I did not expect it to be this consuming.
Anyways, brothers, that's the end of that.